Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Vedic astrology coach Rahat Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. In my channel I make videos on Vedic astrology, I talk about transits. You will see a number of videos available on my channel including 2025 annual predictions for all ascendant signs or the moon signs. You will also see videos on Venus exalted transit in the sign of Pisces, Parivartan Yoga between Venus and Jupiter, Jupiter's direct motion, your monthly report for the month of February. Today I am making yet another unique video on the upcoming transit of Sun or Surya, who is entering the sign of Aquarius, and here Sun will be conjoined Saturn, Shani, the lord of Aquarius. Please remember, this transit is not going to happen for the next 30 years that Sun and Saturn come together in the sign of Aquarius. In the late hours of 12th of February, Sun will enter Aquarius and Sun and Saturn are going to be conjoined, and this transit is going to last till 13th of March. Sun, Surya, Saturn, Shani, they share an interesting relationship. Saturn is the son of Sun, Sun is the father. So they have a father and son relationship. But this relationship is full of difference in terms of views, in terms of opinion, in terms of temperament, behavior. These are very strong opposite forces. And when they come together, it does create some sort of a friction. In this transit, Saturn is going in a great dignity because it's in its Mool Trikon sign of Aquarius. Sun will be making a transit. Now we must pay careful attention that till 10th of March, both Sun and Saturn will be forming a yoga, because this is the time when Sun is behind Saturn, and Sun is a faster moving graha compared to Saturn, of course, because Sun makes a transit in about 1 month, Saturn makes a transit once in about 2.5 years. So till 10th of March, it's a yoga. Between 11th till 12th, 13th of March, Saturn will be in deep combustion, and this time Sun will move ahead of Saturn. And that is the last couple of days of this transit when it's a V-yoga or a not so positive yoga. Thankfully, most of the time, they are forming a yoga. So wherever the sign of Aquarius falls in your chart, wherever the axis of Leo and Aquarius is in your chart, that is going to be absolutely active. They will also be joined by Mercury. So we'll see a 3 planetary conjunction in the sign of Aquarius. Now there's a symbolic meaning of this conjunction that is happening in the sign of Aquarius. Sun or Surya is God himself, and he represents ego, authority, vitality, and the divine light. Saturn is the labor, Saturn is the king maker, whereas Sun is the king, and Saturn represents discipline, humility, karma, and work, and that too someone who's working very hard, someone who has the power of labor. Their opposition certainly creates challenges, and a few months ago they were opposite each other when Sun was making a transit in Leo and Saturn was making a transit in Aquarius. These kind of opposition do create challenges. When they come together, they're also very strongly opinionated planets. While Sun on one hand shines with pride, with authority, Saturn on the other hand teaches us patience through hardship, through the power of labor. So therefore there is a delicate balance between ego and humility, light and darkness, and authority and responsibility. These are all very crucial lessons if we were to have spiritual growth in life. Let me share a story with you that depicts the relationship that Surya and Shani have and why there is a curse of Shani, there is a curse of Saturn. Now Surya, who is the sun god, he married Sanjana, who was the daughter of Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma is also known as the celestial architect. Sandhya was also known as Sanjana. Sandhya was quite devoted towards Surya. However, she had a lot of challenge in terms of bearing the energy, the heat, the radiance, the very powerful radiance of Surya. That was something which Sanjana faced extreme difficulties in terms of managing or coping up with. Now, unable to bear this, she decided to leave Surya and go into the forest for penance. In the process of doing so, she left behind her shadow named Chaya to take care of Surya and fulfill her duties. Chaya was the one who gave birth to Shani. Unlike other children of Surya, Shani was born dark and somber. And this was something which displeased Surya, unfortunately. And Surya then started doubting Chaya's loyalty towards Surya. And it was primarily due to the unusual appearance of Shani, and this is something which Surya did not like, so he ill-treated Chaya. He did not have enough respect in the relationship. Now, as a result of this mistreatment, Shani developed a deep resentment towards his own father, Surya. There were also stories that Shani had immense spiritual powers and he was the one who cursed Surya when he was a child, which also led to their cosmic enmity. The other version of the story is that Shani was born due to immense penance of Chaya, which made him naturally ascetic and contemplative, therefore representing karma, discipline, hard work, labor, restrictions, sorrow, resentment, delay. All these qualities which were opposite to Surya, that represents brightness, consistency, ego, authority, power. Therefore, they never shared a very good cordial relationship as a father and son. So whenever they come together, they do create friction, and this is how we will understand this transit. But on the brighter side, for the major part of this transit, both Sun and Saturn are going to be in a yoga. So depending on their lordship, depending on the dasha, antardasha, pratanta dasha that you're running, you would likely assess the results of this transit and how it will be for you. Once again, Mercury joining this transit is going to bring the power of youth, the power of communication towards the authoritative nature of Sun and the hard work, disciplined nature of Saturn. These are the kind of energies that we will get an opportunity to channelize in the next 1 month. And during this transit, Saturn of course dominates because it's in a strong position. Sun is in an inimical sign, but it is 7th from its own sign of Leo. Therefore, it will be aspecting the sign of Leo. So the sign of Leo will be aspected by 3 planets: Saturn, Sun and Mercury. Now let's try and understand how Sun's transit in the sign of Aquarius, Sun and Saturn conjunction in the sign of Aquarius, yoga in the sign of Aquarius is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs. At the physical level, you must read this transit from your ascendant sign. At the mental level, you can also read this from your moon sign. Let us begin with Aries ascendants. For Aries ascendants, Sun is your 5th lord. It is a Karaka planet. It is one of the most favorable planets. I always say that 5th lord holds the greatest importance in any chart because it is the lord of your future, your children, unconditional love. We see progress from the 5th house. We see mantras from the 5th house. Whether it will work for you or not is much dependent on the 5th house. The Sun will be making a transit in the 11th house where it will be conjoined your 10th and the 11th lord Saturn or Shani. Any planet making a transit in the 11th house always gives good results, and this month you will see 3 planetary conjunction in your 11th house. So there are great energies in terms of communication, the power of leadership, authority, and also the power of labor that could help you make certain gains, because this Sun and also Saturn are giving you a couple of powerful dhan yogas that are pretty much active. And this is a yoga in case you are expecting a rise in your income, any sort of increment or a change in your job that could give you a rise in your income. This could be a potentially favorable time. In case you're looking forward to start new ventures, this could be a potentially favorable time in case your dasha and the dasha is being supported. See, Saturn is your 11th lord, which is going pretty strong in the 11th house. Sun's transit for you is an opportunity to create a lot of influence on people who hold authority. So you're likely to come in contact with very influential people over the next few weeks. And this is something which you could make the most of in case you were to take their help or seek their support in finishing your task, or if you have some government related paperwork, you could see things moving. Sun and Saturn, both of them will be aspecting your 5th house by the 7th aspect of desire. Sun's 7th aspect of desire expects you to bring loyalty in your love relationships. So in case you're in love with someone or you have a partner or even your spouse, you must demonstrate loyalty. You must demonstrate ethics and loyalty towards yourself as far as your future pursuits are concerned. Put your energy in planning for future, because resources and how you were to manage these resources in your future is something that you could sit down and pen down. See, these are opposite energy that have come in your 11th house. So definitely there are gains through network, through influence. So you were to influence a lot of people through your hard work, through your capability and through your leadership potential. On contrary, you have to be very careful of your ego, and this is something which you must manage, because when ego gets into your head, you could make some wrong decisions. You could turn out to be or probably perceived to be rude to other people, and this is something which you have to be careful of. Practice humility, stay humble all the time. The power of humility is something which you have to consciously practice over the next few days, and you will have a blessed transit. Any mantras that you use are likely to give you positive results. Particularly, use the mantra related to Lord Shiva. Even a simple Panchakshari mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, or just Namah Shivaya, is absolutely good for you, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Taurus Ascendant and what's happening with Taurus Ascendants as Sun enters the sign of Aquarius, where it will be conjoined with the Lord of Aquarius, Shani. Shani is your 9th Lord and the 10th Lord. Taurus, Surya is your 4th Lord, the Lord of happiness, your mother, your home space, your most comfort space, your safe space. It's your comfort zone, which Sun represents in your chart. And this Sun is making a transit in your 10th house. It will be conjoined with your Bhagyesha and your Karmesha, which becomes Saturn. Saturn is a Yoga Karaka, or the most favorable planet for Taurus ascendants. In this transit, Sun is the one who gains directional strength, or is Digbali in the 10th house. Therefore, there are blessings of Mahadev, there are blessings of Lord Shiva around this time. So there is the power of labor in your 10th house, which is Saturn. There is authority and ego in your 10th house, Karma Bhava, which represents your profession, your work, your actions in the society, your firepower, what you do to survive and sustain yourself in this world. Mercury, the significator of the 10th house, will also be joining these two planets, and Mercury is the primary Karaka of the 10th house. I believe all three planets signify something related to 10th house, where Sun signifies leadership potential, Mercury signifies management, and Saturn signifies the power of labor. So it's an excellent time to learn these skills, leadership versus management, and putting the power of labor at work. Expect some changes pertaining to your workplace for good. In case your Dasha Antardasha is being supported, this is the time for you to go for new opportunities, for bigger, brighter, better projects or greater opportunities in your life. This could be like a once in a lifetime opportunity for you, which could land yourself in a nice job or a nice kind of work where you have a lot of respect and also the power of authority. See, these are opposite energies at work. In case your Dasha Antardasha is not supportive, you could have some leadership or authority related issues with those people who hold a lot of influence. So make sure that you listen to such people and you leverage their influence. You build cordial relationships consciously. Avoid any kind of conflicts with your bosses, with your seniors at work, even with the people that you work with. So workplace relation is something you have to be very conscious of around this time. You could either make or break relationship. But from a learning point of view, this is an excellent time to develop your leadership potential and your communication along with management. Take important decisions related to workplace. See, Sun and Saturn, both of them are jointly aspecting your 4th house. So Sun wants you to step out of your comfort zone and try something new. Bigger, better opportunities is something which you have to watch out for. Do not stay at home. I mean, be out there in the open, be out there in the ground. In case you have a hybrid work environment, try to of course manage and navigate these situations. This time period also calls you to declutter your workspace. Wherever you work, whether you have a desk at home or at office, or of course you go out, you need to work in a very clean and a nice environment. You need to declutter and of course get rid of some old stuff pertaining to your workplace. You could have some technological issues with your system around this time, so make sure you are taking care of things and checking everything whether it's in order or not. All your equipments, gadgets, machines, and of course anything that you learn around this time. And if it is related to technology, this could be highly beneficial for you. So keep learning and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Gemini Ascendants and what's happening with Gemini Ascendants as Sun makes a transit in the sign of Aquarius, where it will be conjoined with his Sun Saturn or Shani. Lord Surya or Sun is your 3rd Lord for Gemini, the one who rules valor, courage, your efforts. Change is seen from the 3rd house. It is the Upachaya Bhava. So we see growth from the 3rd house, your co-born siblings. This is the house of communication and how you express yourself. This is also the house of desire. The Sun is making a transit in the 9th house of Dharma, Bhagya, long journeys, higher spiritual knowledge, the house of fortune, the house of your mentor or a guru. Sun is one of the significators of the 9th house. So from a placement point of view, transit point of view, it is quite a positive transit because Sun elevates the power of dharma and the power of fortune. So any efforts that you make in the next few weeks, you're likely to have results based on those efforts because your 3-9 axis is pretty active around this time. Sun is conjoined Surya, Sun is conjoined Saturn, who is your 9th Lord. So there's also going to be a Lagna Lord Mercury who will join these planets. So of course it is the time to start something new. Journeys are seen from this axis, so it doesn't necessarily mean that you will travel. You could go on a leisure trip. You could also go on a spiritual retreat. However, you're more likely to start something new, a new venture, or some new project that you have started a few weeks ago or a while ago. You would like to put a lot more energy in that project. You must seek advice of a mentor or a guru, someone who has the potential leadership authority, or someone who is quite influential. This person could be someone who's old or someone who's young as well, because they're mixed energy. So any advice that you take, regardless of the age and of course race and the skill set and experience of people, this advice will not hurt you as long as you trust them, as long as they are good to you. So this is something which you must take. Sun is aspecting your third house by the seventh aspect of desire. So is Saturn, so is Mercury. So there is definitely authority in your communication. So you will speak with a lot of vigor, you will speak with a lot of authority, but at the same time you must practice humility, stay grounded, right? And also journal, do something related to your hand, and of course put all your hard work, energy, attention and your firepower in some of these pursuits. Either you could exercise in the gym, that involves your hands, you could do gardening, you could blog, you could journal using your hands. See, there is a lot of dharma and discipline that is coming in the house of bhagya or the house of fortune. So you have to protect your dharma, you have to be the champion of your dharma, you have to be loyal to your dharma or your practice, what you follow. So make sure that you stick to it. Make sure any remedy that you do should be either related to Mercury or Saturn, and you will be blessed. But keep this ego aside and practice humility, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Cancer Ascendants and what's happening with Cancer Ascendants as Sun enters the sign of Aquarius, that is ruled by Shri Shanishtara, Lord Saturn. So Lord Sun, who is your second house Lord, the one who rules your wealth, who rules your speech, your consumption, what you eat, what you consume, the one who rules your family. It holds a very important lordship for Cancer Ascendants, and this Sun is going to be making a transit in your 8th house of longevity. We see transformation from the 8th house. We see sudden ups and downs. Suddenness in life is seen from this house. Unknown, secret, dark places. Your secret desires are also seen from the 8th house. Life and death is seen from the 8th house. Your well-being and your financial debts are also seen from the 8th house. Sun does not have any dosha of the 8th house, so it holds a very neutral position in your chart, and it is neutral in the 8th house as well. This time around it is conjoined with your 7th and the 8th Lord Saturn. So there is definitely relationship karma for yourself and also related to your transformation. So you are going to go through a lot of transformation because the power of discipline is in the 8th house, the power of authority, ego is in the 8th house, and Mercury, who represents communication and management, is also making a transit in your 8th house, and it's a very quick, fast graha, both Mercury and Sun. So definitely any learning related to research or research related subjects is going to be quite beneficial for you. Excellent time to learn Jyotish, Jyotish Shastras, Vedanga, astrology, occult, any of these subjects. You will have a huge potential to learn around this time. This Sun is aspecting your 2nd house by the 7th aspect of desire. So you must be careful of your speech, what you speak, what you say, because you can't take your words back. It could bring in a lot of egoism, it could bring a lot of authoritativeness in your speech, so you might sound rude to others. So stay humble, stay soft, and try to have enough respect for people, because this is a basic element. If you give respect in your communication, you're likely to get respect as well. You might undergo some change in your dietary requirement because Sun demands consistency in your eating habits, and Saturn at the same time demands discipline. Mercury would try to deviate you from the path by experimenting new things, so make sure that you take care of yourself, because you could develop some stomach related issues or some digestive issues if you do not fix your eating habits. See, there is a power of authority and discipline that is coming in the house of transformation. Transformation is inevitable. The journey can be a little bit challenging. More time you would learn, and you're likely to sail through this transit, because Saturn is creating a Viparita Yoga. Circumstances could go adverse. Eventually you will rise. Other people might come to take your advice, to consult you. They would like to trust you. They would like to share their secrets with you, and make sure that you are spending enough time to give people the right advice. You can become a very good advisor during this time, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Leo ascendant and what's happening with Leo ascendants as Sun enters the sign of Aquarius, and for the next 1 month till mid of March, Sun is going to be in the sign of Aquarius. Sun is your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant. Therefore, it plays a very important role. It rules yourself, your power of thinking, your body, vitality, immunity, your intelligence. This is where your brain is. This is where all your thinking capacity and physical manifestation, everything sits in the ascendant. Sun is the most important planet for you, and it is making a transit in your 7th house of Jaya Bhava. We see peace and also war, marriage, relationship, all kinds of agreements are seen from the 7th house. Your outer world of things, people and events are seen from the 7th house. This Sun will be conjoined with Saturn in the 7th house. Saturn gains directional strength, and it is your 6th and the 7th Lord. So Saturn's Digbali. Sun is somehow weak in the 7th house because Sun likes to rise in the east. West, 7th house is the western direction where Sun sets, and Sun doesn't really like to set. So Saturn's definitely having a greater influence in this transit. Even Mercury holds a weaker disposition in the 7th house. There is definitely relationship karma that you would experience around this time. And if you listen to the story that I shared in the very beginning of this video about Sun and the kind of marital life he had, so of course from a greater point of view, whoever has Sun's influence in the 7th house, or if Sun is the 7th Lord, or if Sun is placed or making transit in the 7th house, it's not very conducive for relationship or marriage because it brings a lot of ego, authority issues, and it brings a lot of radiance towards relationship, a very high energy. So there could be this mismatch. However, Saturn protects, Saturn stabilizes, Saturn brings a lot of discipline, and it helps the relationship to grow if Saturn is aspecting the 7th house or if Saturn is placed in the 7th house. There is definitely relationship karma that you have to deal. So make sure that you listen to your partner, make sure that you demonstrate loyalty, and this time should pass. Keep your ego aside when it comes to relationship, because you could be in a situation wherein you know it all and you would want to put your point across, and you might sound authoritative, you might sound like you want to get into an argument, and this is something which you have to channelize. Stay humble, stay grounded. Sun is aspecting your 1st house. The fire aspect, the 7th aspect of desire is on your ascendant. Excellent time to build your leadership skills or leadership potential. You need to be consistent in everything that you're doing. If you rise up on time, have a routine. Particularly a morning, the first 1 hour, you need to have some good practices, maybe yoga, meditation, sadhana, or go out for a walk. Spend time with yourself thinking through how you would like to spend your day or the entire week. These are some of the things what you could do in order to channelize these energies. You do need a morning routine. This is a very simple remedy for you, and this will ensure that your energy levels are absolutely on a higher side, and you're also leveraging the disciplinary capabilities of Saturn with authoritative nature of the Sun to the best of your capability, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Virgo ascendants and what's happening with Virgo ascendants as Sun moves in the sign of Aquarius. Sun is creating a Viparita Yoga for you. So Viparita Yoga is created when the Lord of the 6th house, 8th house or 12th house is either placed in one of these houses, which is 6th, 8th or 12th, or from a transit point of view as well, if it is making a transit in this house. Sun for you is your 12th Lord, Lord of expenditure, losses, your higher self-consciousness, your sleep or bed comforts, your power of self-awareness, because we also see self-awareness from this house. We also see the power of donation from this house, because this is where you give, your physical comforts, you give them away. This Sun is making a transit in the 6th house of daily routines, of deaths, diseases, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. We see job from the 6th house. We see competition from the 6th house. We see opposition or enemies from the 6th house. This is also the house of growth, because this is one of the Upachaya Bhavas. Sun being a natural Krura planet, and therefore being Krura, it is a natural malefic, okay, because it has a power of ego and authority. It does very well in 3rd house, 6th house, 10th house and 11th house. So it does well from a placement point of view. It is creating a Viparita Yoga. That means situations, circumstances could go adverse. Eventually you will rise. This sun is also conjoined with your 6th lord, 5th and 6th lord Saturn. Saturn is a Karak Graha for you because he rules future. He also rules your 6th house. So Saturn is also creating a Viparita Yoga. So of course circumstances would go adverse. Eventually you will rise. See, one thing you must remember is that you will have the power to overcome enemies and opposition around this time, but this will require you to put in significant amount of effort because this is the month of growth. This is the month of job change as well. In case you put efforts towards changing a job, this is also an excellent time for spiritual pursuits. So it's a very good spiritual transit because your 6-12 axis is pretty active. Sun, Saturn and Mercury will be aspecting your 12th house. When we see moksha, spirituality, penance, the ability to give, donate from the 12th house. Please donate during this time. See, your 12th lord is making a transit in the 6th house. Donate items related to sun or surya. It will never hurt you. You can donate wheat. You can donate jaggery. You can donate any kind of grains. You can donate spices as well. And this is something which will be quite beneficial for you. Donate to those who need. You will be blessed with resources. So resources will be favorable for you because this way you will be able to channelize the power of sun and do it in the best of your capacity, and you do not need to share and tell it to the world in terms of what you are donating. You need to bring in a sense of spirituality in your daily life. So make sure that you have a daily routine because this house represents daily routine. Sun demands consistency in anything that you do from morning through the evening. Your everyday work must demonstrate consistency. If you follow a practice, if you chant a mantra, you must be consistent. If you start a prayer, you must be consistent. If you rise up on time, you must be consistent about it. This is something which sun demands you, and this is how you're going to channelize it, and these are very simple remedies for you, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Libra ascendants and what's happening with Libra ascendants as sun enters the sign of Aquarius. For you, sun is the 11th lord. It shares an inimical relationship with your Lagna Lord Venus. Being the 11th lord, it rules gains, your comfort. Of course, it rules enemies as well, bigger opposition because 11th house is the 6th from the 6th house. Okay, so it represents bigger enemies. It represents your income, your ability to earn, your ability to live a comfortable life. We also see purpose of life because 11th house is the house of fulfillment. This sun is making a transit in your 5th house of mantras, of future, children, unconditional love. This is also called the Purya Punya Bhava because we see deeds from the previous birth and how it is going to manifest to karmas that we fulfill now and also in our future. Our actions are determined by this house. This house also represents progress, okay, authority, positional success, and also corruption. Sun is the natural ruler of the 5th house, which is the sign of Leo. Therefore, from a position point of view, it is a very comfortable position. Sun is going to bring in a lot of consistency for your future. This is an excellent time to start new mantras, any mantra based remedy. So this could be mantra either related to Lord Shiva or this could be related to Lord Vishnu depending on your dasha, antardasha, or the kind of planetary bija mantra that you need. So, but it is an excellent time to have initiated into a mantra based remedy because sun is supporting it. This could bring in new work related opportunities for future. This sun is conjoined with your 4th and the 5th lord Saturn. So 5th lord Saturn is also making a good transit and it has a greater power, a greater sense of control, and both sun and Saturn are forming a yoga. It's a dhan yoga in transit. In case you're looking forward to getting a rise in income, you'll have to put in a lot more efforts to do that, and you will be able to get a rise in your income or an incentive or an increment in case your dasha antardasha is supported. Your colleagues or peers are going to be playing a very supportive role, so make sure that you reach out to them. If you're in leadership position, you make sure that you have enough respect and you help your team members around this time, and they will need you. They will need a lot of guidance. You're likely to guide and mentor others, and this is also one of the potential remedies for you. Sun is aspecting your 11th house by the 7th aspect of desire. So of course, Sun wants to expand resources. Sun wants to expand consistency and make you work towards your own gains. Gains for yourself, your elders, your family. And of course, some conflict that involves friends. You're likely to involve in some of these discussions. Make sure if you get yourself involved, you are very particular about protecting your relationship with your friends, because otherwise you could create some sort of energy issues or some sort of conflict with your friends, which could be detrimental towards your relationship, towards your friendship. It's a good time to influence others, influence with authority, influence with the power of discipline. So these are the key words for you which you need to keep in mind, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Scorpio Ascendant and what's happening with Scorpio Ascendants as Sun enters the sign of Aquarius on 12th of February, and it's going to stay in this sign till 13th of March. It will be conjoined with Saturn, who rules the sign of Aquarius. Sun is an important planet for you because it rules your 10th house. It's your Karmesha, Karma Bhava. It rules your profession, your actions in this world, in this society, your work, your job, what you do in order to survive and sustain yourself in this world. So it holds a very important lordship. Sun is making a transit in another Kendra house, which is your 4th house of comfort, your happy space, things that make you feel happy, make you feel content, your mother, your homeland, your protection is seen from the 4th house. 4th house is not a comfortable house or space for Sun, because Sun gains directional strength in the 10th house, which is opposite to the 4th house. So in 4th house, we could comfortably say that Sun is losing direction. Therefore, it will take you considerable amount of effort to deal with people who have authority, to leverage resources in your daily life. But this period will help you step out of your comfort zone and try out new things, new experiments. If you were to, you've been thinking of picking up an interest, some hobby that you've been thinking of doing, some area of interest, or maybe some place that you've been thinking of visiting, now is the time when you will act, because you will step out of your comfort zone and you would like to try new things. This Sun is conjoined your 3rd and 4th Lord Saturn in the 4th house. So therefore, there could be some decisions pertaining to your home, pertaining to either renovation at your home, or you'd like to do have some real estate transaction or dealing, because they will also be conjoined Mercury. There will be a 3 planetary conjunction, and your 4 and 10 axis is pretty active. So you could do some renovation in your house, or you could invest or maybe do a real estate transaction in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive. So in case you've been thinking about it, this could be the potentially favorable time. You could develop some issues related to your vehicle if you own your vehicle. So make sure that you go for a regular checkup and test, and of course you keep it in good condition and you check everything before you go on a drive, particularly if it's an old vehicle. Okay. Sun is aspecting your 10th house by the 7th aspect of desire. So Sun is bringing a lot of firepower in your 10th house, and it wants you to leverage the power of resources at workplace, manage conflict with people who hold authority. This period could bring in some leadership issues, some authority issues, especially if you deal with people with potential and people with authority. You have to be a little bit careful. Okay. You have to step out of your comfort zone. This is the outlook that you need to develop around this time. And if you develop that outlook, you will be ready for many challenges in life. Over the next couple of months, it's an excellent time to venture in new opportunities. It's an excellent time to declutter your house, because Sun demands consistency. Saturn, of course, does very well if environments are clean, because Saturn itself is not a clean planet, right? So you need to maintain cleanliness in your house. So make sure that you check each and every corner of your house. Nothing is decluttered. Make sure that you give out those things that you don't need, donate it. From a spiritual point of view, it is a very good time, because 4th house, 8th house and 12th house represent spirituality. These houses represent moksha. Practice yoga, practice sadhana, practice meditation. You are likely to build consistency in these practices, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Sagittarius Ascendants. What's happening with Sagittarius Ascendants as Sun enters the sign of Aquarius, where it will be conjoined with the Lord of Aquarius, Saturn or Shani. Lord Surya, Sun, is your 9th Lord. It rules your Bhagya Bhava, house of fortune. So it plays a very important lordship. It has a very important role because it rules your father or father figure, higher education, higher spiritual knowledge, your fortune, your Bhagya, long distance journeys. Travel is seen from the 9th house. This Sun is making a transit in your 3rd house of communication, valor. We see courage from the 3rd house. We see co-bonds from the 3rd house. This is also an Upachaya Bhava, one of the first houses of growth, because growth needs efforts, and efforts are seen from the 3rd house. Sun being a natural malefic, and of course it's a functional benefic for you, but being a natural Krura planet, it does very well in the third house, and it is conjoined with your third lord Saturn. So there is a power of authority which represents Sun, discipline which is linked to Saturn, and communication which is linked to Mercury, and also management that is coming in your third house. And this is also the house of learning. So you need to learn more about leadership, about the power of authority, to balance your ability to deal with, of course, your leadership skills and your relationship building skills with people, and how you would leverage the power of your communication to build and expand your network. So this is a good time for personal branding, for personal networking, and channelizing these energies to make your presence felt wherever you go. Your 3 and 9 axis is pretty active because Sun making a transit in the third house will be aspecting your 9th house. You could go on journeys, spiritual retreats, spiritual trips. You must get a Guru Upadesha, blessings from your mentor, and this mentor should be someone who is old and brings a sense of leadership capability. And this message or a blessing could really help you. You can also get some guidance from your father. This time period could help you resolve some issues with your father because Bhagya is being supported around this time. So you must understand that Saturn is your second lord and the third lord. So of course it is supporting your efforts. Any efforts that you put around this time, you're likely to see results. You will have a change of outlook in life. Your fundamentals are likely to change. You're going to focus a lot on getting your basics right, doing the right things, path of righteousness. This is the key for you, following ethical practices, because you could deviate from your path. And this is something which you must avoid. Practice journaling, use your hands to write, and of course write about leadership, write about discipline, how you could leverage the power of discipline. Be grateful of the things in life that you have, and of course what you do on a day-to-day basis. Excellent time for learning, for higher education, in case you're looking for some of these aspects, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Capricorn Ascendants and what's happening with Capricorn Ascendants as Sun enters the sign of Aquarius. For you, Sun is your 8th lord, the one who rules life and death, longevity, secret dark places, transformation, and the kind of transformation that is sudden in nature, sudden changes, sudden ups and downs. This is what Sun rules for you, and this Sun or Surya is making a transit in your second house of Dhan, wealth. We see accumulation, so this is all about accumulated wealth, okay, which could be linked to your income as well, and of course your sources of gains. We see family or kutumb from the second house. We see your speech, your consumption, what you consume, what you eat, and those people who you would like to protect. This is the house of protection, your protection towards others, towards those who you love, and family is the one who we like to protect. Definitely there is a power of transformation which is coming in your second house of speech. So your speech is likely to go through transformation. Your eating habits are likely to go through transformation. You are likely to bring in a lot of discipline in your habits, particularly your lifestyle, your eating habits. Stay away from indulgence of any kinds, because this could be detrimental towards your health and well-being. This is something which you have to watch out for. See, this Sun is conjoined your first and the second lord Saturn. So in case you have any possibility of inheritance and wealth through inheritance, this could be a favorable time for you. Unearned sources of income or sudden increase or change of wealth, you are likely to make some financial decisions around this time, and a sense of discipline and consistency in your finances, the way you were to deal with finances. So make sure if you have any decisions pertaining to managing your money, managing your savings, investment, you think before you make a decision. Otherwise, it could turn out to be a wrong decision that could be detrimental towards your financial gains. This Sun is aspecting your 8th house by the 7th aspect of desire, along with Saturn, along with Mercury, who will also be making a transit. Of course, there are Dhan Yogas that are taking place around this time, but Sun demands you to bring in consistency in your transformation. Sun demands you to accept and be loyal towards the change, right? And this is something which you need to step into the situation, not step away from the situation, and take ownership, take account of this change, and this is all in your hands. This is how you need to channelize and leverage these energies, because see, there is ego in your second house, so you could sound egoistic to others. Make sure that you practice humility. There is also discipline in your speech. There is also the power of youth and communication and management because of Mercury. So there will be very complex energies in your speech. So this is something which you have to just think, maybe, whenever you're talking to someone, whenever you have an important meeting or discussion, make sure that you plan ahead of the time. Make sure that you're very clear of the structure and the points and the kind of message that you were to deliver. And towards the end, thank everyone. Use powerful words such as please, sorry, thank you, and acknowledge, appreciate when you hear someone. Make others feel that you're listening to them. You will even build greater authority and you will be able to convince other people. And this is a simple remedy for you. Stay soft, stay humble, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Aquarius Ascendants and what's happening with Aquarius Ascendants as Sun makes a transit in Aquarius and enter your Lagna, your Ascendant. Please welcome Surya Devata in your Lagna, who will be joining your Lagna Lord Saturn and also Mercury. So two of these grahas are Karak grahas for you, and two of these grahas also rule Kendra houses. Saturn rules your Lagna, Sun rules your 7th house. So of course, definitely there is karma towards yourself and towards your marriage, relationship, partnership, harmony, a sense of opposition as well. So Sun, when makes a transit in the Ascendant, it's your 7th Lord, Lord of Jaya Bhava, peace and war, those people who are opposite to you, your outer world of things, people and events, your spouse, your marriage, your relationship, the agreements that you make. And this Sun is coming in your Ascendant, the fire power, the Tej is coming in your Ascendant. Blessings of Surya Devata. Sun is the natural significator of the 1st house. He is the natural Atma Karak and the significator of the soul. So these time periods are very important from a soul point of view, because when your Ascendant Lord is conjoined with Surya, and that too in your Lagna, this kind of opportunity you will not get for many years. So it's soul level calling. So your soul purpose, you need to discover that. You need to think about it. You need to understand your goals and objectives in life towards yourself, towards your relationship, towards other people, and they are involved as well. Make sure that you take suggestions of your partner or your spouse. For those people who are trying to get into a new relationship, this could be a potentially favorable time, because they will demonstrate a sense of truthfulness, loyalty and discipline and a power of commitment, and they will also be very open in communication with other people. So these are the kind of energies which you have. So there is authority, ego, discipline and youth sitting in your Lagna. These are complex energies to manage. Saturn has a greater power, a greater sense of control. So you must leverage the power of discipline and navigate these relationships. It could be a little bit challenging, little bit difficult for you as well, okay, because Saturn is also your 12th Lord. So you must spend enough time in self-awareness, understanding your key strengths and how you would like to build on these strengths, how you could leverage and build your leadership potential, which could help you gain authoritative roles or authoritative position. This is a time to overcome any self-doubt that you've had since a long time. This is a time to increase your self-confidence and develop your self-esteem, and that too in front of other people, because you will speak with authority, you will speak with a lot of discipline. Sun, Saturn, Mercury, all three are aspecting your 7th house by the 7th aspect of desire. So Sun desires loyalty in any partnership, any relationship. It wants you to be absolutely ethical. There is zero tolerance when it comes to consistency and loyalty when Sun is. Otherwise, he is a very hard punisher. So this is something which you must understand. It's quite a karmic time. It's a soul level important time in case your Dasha Antardasha is being supportive, and may Lord Shiva bless you. Let us now talk about Pisces Ascendants and what's happening with Pisces Ascendants as Sun enters the sign of Aquarius. Sun or Lord Surya is your 6th Lord. He rules daily routine, debts, diseases, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, your job. We also see intelligence from the 6th house. We also see growth from the 6th house. We see competition, opposition, and your ability to overcome this opposition from the 6th house. He is your 6th Lord and he is making a transit in your 12th house of higher self-consciousness, expenditure, losses, your sleep, your bed comforts, your ability, your power to be more self-aware. This is the house of unlimited potential. We see donations from the 12th house. So naturally, excellent time to donate, excellent time to help those who need. What you need to donate really depends on certain placements in your chart and of course the kind of time period that you're running through, but anything that you could donate to the best of your capacity will be very helpful for you. There is a 3 planetary conjunction. Of course, both Sun and Saturn will be together in your 12th house. This is a Viparita Yoga. Sun is having a Viparita Yoga because it's 6th Lord in the 12th house. Saturn is also forming a Viparita Yoga because it's your 12th Lord in the 12th house. Saturn is also your 11th Lord. So your expenditure needs a check. So you need some discipline, consistency in your expenditure. You don't need to be flamboyant anymore. You don't need to be impulsive because Mercury is bringing a lot of impulsiveness in expenditure. Spend on good deeds. Spend on dharma. This is a simple message for you. Anything that you do on a day-to-day basis, spend on good deeds, spend on dharma, spend on travel, spend on leisure, spend on your family. This is something which is good for you, right? Invest in your work. So that is something how you leverage these energies. From a spiritual point of view, this is an excellent transit because Sun demands consistency in spiritual routine. Saturn, of course, is one of the biggest significator of spiritual discipline, and this is really helping you become more spiritual in life. And of course, spirituality comes with difficult times. It comes with certain challenges, certain pain. Sun gains Maran Karak position in the 12th house, which is a death-like position. Therefore, it is losing its significance. It is also forming a Viparita Yoga. So there is certain amount of cancellation that's happening and it's being supported. Both Sun and Saturn are in a yoga. So its signification is somewhere getting lost. You will face a challenge in terms of being very consistent in your daily routine. You might be very lethargic or you might delay things, you might procrastinate. And this is something which you need to overcome. You need to take things in your hand and you need to do everything at a specific time. So have a nice morning routine. This is an excellent remedy for you. Rise up on time in case you were to leverage the power of Sun and channelize the energies of Sun. You can read Aditya Hridayam on a daily basis or use mantras related to Surya, Lord Surya himself, or chant a simple Shiva mantra, either Namah Shivaya or Om Namo Bhagavate Sadashivaya. You will be protected. Any donations, please remember that you must make donations around this month and you will be blessed by resources and the power of discipline in your spiritual capability, and I wish you the very best. So friends, this was yet another interesting, unique video on Sun's monthly transit in the sign of Aquarius and where it is conjoined Saturn, who rules Aquarius. I hope and believe Lord Surya and Lord Shani bless us with the power of authority, leadership, discipline, along with the managerial capabilities of Mercury to have a lot of gains for our future and help us have some sort of positional and also spiritual success and spiritual progress in life. Let us continue to leverage the power of these energies and may Lord Shiva continue to bless us. Thank you very much.